Yes, people, welcome to the player ratings after a bad performance against Liverpool, let's say.
Yeah.
2-0 loss. At least it wasn't 4s and 5s, and But let's get straight into it, man.
Yeah, man.
David De Gea.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't know what you thought actually. I haven't even asked you, but that foul in the box for me was not a foul. That was David De Gea not being as strong as he's never been. When he first signed for us, the main criticism was of him being too small and not strong enough, blah blah blah. And okay, he's bulked out and whatnot, but he's not. He's almost as weak as he used to be, like all those years ago. He really should have dealt with that a lot better. Van Dijk barely lent into him, and then he was moaning about the foul. I thought that was so poor from him, and obviously we've lost the game 2-0 as well on top. For David De Gea, I can't give him more than a 4, man.
It was literally right in front of me.
And you thought
the first thing I thought, I'm not gonna lie, I said to the guy in front of me, I goes, I'm not sure if that's a foul. I saw the players going mad. I saw De Gea going mad, and I just had this feeling. I was like, I'm not 100%. I don't know what you guys feel, but even when I watched it back, I was like, I don't know, man. He's a bit lucky there.
Yep.
Like I can see, what it's like with the goalies that get protection a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So, but then the one where he got cleaned out, I think was it Newcastle or was it Everton? Can't remember when he the same thing sort of happened and that wasn't given. I don't know, man. I think I agree. He was a little bit lucky there. I can see why it was given though, but those ones are sometimes 50-50. I would give De Gea. After that, I thought he was all right. He made a great save against Mane just before the second half. I'll give him a 5. I'll give him a 5, which 4 and a 5 is there's not much in it, Mars, isn't it?
There's not.
Right wing back, Wan-Bissaka. I thought he was okay defensively. I thought he did what he needed to do. I thought he was a game of two halves in terms of his attacking, and I don't mean just the first and the second half. I mean like 1 minute he was putting in some decent balls, was getting into good positions. Other times he's just overhitting it. But in the right wing back position, I thought he got forward where he could, but fairly average. I'd go over 5 again for me.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't one of his better games at all. I'm not even gonna pretend that he had a great game. Yeah, defensively, did okay as he always does. He does much better normally. And again, I think his sticking point is in the attacking areas. It's something he clearly needs to work on, and hopefully, from now until the end of the season, he really works on that and tries to elevate his game, get some good crosses into the box, make some better runs, and that. I'll give him a 5. He just gets a 5.
Yeah.
I'll give him a 5.
Just average performance. Yeah, I don't think he stuck out like a sore thumb having a stinker, but I don't think he was exceptional. I think a flat 5 for him. And then you had Lindelof next to him.
Yeah,
as the first.
I kind of feel sorry for those 3 centre halves in terms of how good Liverpool were and are, and it's. I just don't think they were helped by the formation, by the tactics at all in this game. I can't really give a lot of blame to any of those 3. But we've come away with a 2-0 defeat, and everyone's kind of coming with an average game. So I can't give Lindelof more than a 5. I
agree. Again, the only criticism I'll have, which to be fair, it's a criticism that if the players are going to act on it, it means they have to completely go against the manager, who's obviously set them up as zonal. But I think if you've got you 2 centre halves there, Maguire, Lindelof, and then you've got Big Matic in there, I think one of them has got to be taking responsibility for Van Dijk. But clearly, zonal was what they've been told to do. So I don't really level that criticism at Lindelof. But I thought he did all right. I thought he punched a couple of balls into Andreas, who was wasteful. We'll get to him.
Yes.
I thought Lindelof I thought he did okay. I thought he had a couple of duels against Mane. Yeah. Did all right. I don't think he was that bad. The football.
Miles, what's yours?
Miles, Liam, lads. What's your name?
We're Flex. We're United fans. It's you lot's time, innit? It's you lot's time. Football goes in cycles, and it's your time. It's your time. It's your time. Innit? We've got to take it. What can we do?
Boys, I'll leave you to it.
Are you going to win the league?
What was that?
Are you going to win the league?
What questions? What questions?
Nice one, man. Fair play. That's how it should be.
Of course.
What can we say? Just got to take the banter. At least he wished us a good night, though. That's good.
Yeah. They're still going.
Yeah. Yeah, so Lindelof 5.
Yeah.
Maguire, captain.
Yeah.
New captain of the club now as well.
Yeah, new captain. I mean, you know, he's putting in decent-ish. Well, he's putting decent performances. Again, he's back. He's part of a back three that was quite average today. If we're talking about the Virgil van Dijk header, I know you're saying, you know, they've been given the instructions to mark zonally, but him as the captain, he could possibly notice that, you know, the Virgil van Dijk danger and try and do something about it.
True, because even if you're going to go zonal, all right, you could still go zonal, but you can go, I'm just going to man mark him.
Yeah.
But the rest can go zonal.
Yeah, he doesn't-
just someone should have taken accountability.
In that moment, he doesn't necessarily have to push someone to go and do it, because I don't think anyone else would have really done it. They would have been a bit, you know, but he himself could have been like, you know what, I'm going to go and, you know, mark Virgil van Dijk myself. But all in all, another average performance. He gets a 5 for me.
5. Yeah. Luke Shaw, I thought Luke Shaw did all right today.
Considering.
It was difficult, don't get me wrong. Left centre back. But I thought he was good today. I'd actually give Luke Shaw a 6.
I mean, yeah, he did.
Just from defensively, like his position of what he had to do,
Yeah.
I thought he did it all right.
I mean, I'm saying yeah, but I don't actually.
Right,
100%. I think he's a 5, but you know, I think our expectations of him in that position weren't very high.
Yeah.
And I think he did live up, you know, somewhat to, you know, being in. Sorry, he did play well in that area.
Actually, yeah. 6,
Yeah,
6
no,
is elevated too high. 5, yeah, I see that. I see that.
You know,
Yeah.
those,
But he did play well. I
Yeah,
thought,
yeah, he played,
in terms of defensively, he had a lot to do.
Yeah.
And he did. He was quite robust and quite solid, wasn't
I
he?
mean, yeah, there was a little moment like when Salah pretty much, you know, beat him down his side,
Yeah,
and
and
he had to
yellow.
grab him up and
Yeah.
you know, do
You
what
have
he
to
had
do
to
that,
do.
yeah.
Yeah. There's no blame attached to him at
Yeah.
all for that. But again, part of an average back three, I think, and I think he just played a similar role.
5 for him.
Yeah.
And then Brandon Williams, left wing back. I usually forget him in the player ratings. Not today. I thought he did well. His first taste of a derby at Anfield as well. I thought he held his own.
He did.
I thought he was aggressive. I thought he tried to do what he can do. He tried to be as positive as he could be. Looked after the ball okay.
Yep.
But again, a 5. It's difficult to give more than that to anyone really today, right?
Definitely. No, I completely agree with you. You know, it was a very tough game to come into and show something of yourself. But with someone, you know, being someone so young and, you know, being thrown into a game like this, I think he's held his own as much as he could. He still looks like the livelier left back, and, you know, he's beaten Luke Shaw to his own position in a sense, playing left wing back.
Yeah.
And it looks like, I'm hoping, you know, if he stays fit, then you know, Ollie will stick with him, and I think he will stick with him for the rest of the season. But in terms of today's game and
5.
average,
Yeah.
performance, I give
Let's go into the midfield. Matic.
Matic was, I think, was okay. I think when he's given the ball to quickly give off to someone else, he's able to play that role. He's not someone who is able to kind of run around with the ball and kind of do what Fred does, basically. I think he did a job today. You know, just kind of quick, short, simple, keep it quick, keep the ball moving and whatnot. It was hard in that midfield area. You know, Liverpool had a very strong midfield. They were really pressing on us and whatnot.
Chamberlain was everywhere in it with the legs, and
all over the place.
Henderson. You know what you're going to get with him, and Wijnaldum just great on the ball, isn't he? So, but I think it could have been a very, very. I think it could have been an even more uncomfortable evening for Fred and Matic in there.
I think so. I do agree with you, and I think I can just about give him a 6, just about for me.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I actually would have given him a 5. But again, 6, 5. There's not much in it. I thought Matic did well, but in terms of trying to make some players stand out in our bad performance, I suppose someone's got to spike and get a 6. I suppose to kind of show a bit of a difference. But I thought more second half. I thought Matic, especially after that wave that Liverpool had where they was all over us and they should have scored about 3 in a row. As soon as we come out second half, I think Matic, when he got on the ball, he kind of helped make us tick along with Fred. So I would have given him about a 5, but he was all right. Fred, I thought was our standout player. If anyone was going to get a 6 for me, I would have given it to Fred.
I'm going the
You're
one
going the other way around.
I'm going well.
Oh, you're going one higher than that.
Well, yeah. I mean, okay. In the context of the game, we've lost 2-0. So giving someone a 7.
Hard,
so that's where I see what you're saying. But because I've given Matic a 6, Fred does have to get a mark higher.
You thought he was better than Matic.
I thought he was better. I thought he was our best player.
I thought he did what he had to do in terms of his energy. He was tenacious. He won the ball back quite well. And had a couple of shooting chances as well, which you don't really want it falling to Fred because we know he's not prolific in that. His shooting's not his best attribute. but I thought he fed the ball to the wings quite well, and just the tempo of his passing and the pace of his passing into people, just to keep the ball moving. I thought his energy was good today, so he'd get a 6 from me and a 7 from you. You're saying?
He didn't look lost in a very busy middle of the park. So I give him.
Andreas Pereira.
Very, very poor. I think in that little hole. Poor, giving the ball away, trying to, give through balls, and his final ball today was really awful. And
decision making. Common theme with him, innit?
Common theme, and you really needed someone in that position that was going to be able to find those passes. Could this have been a game for Mata to come in? That's
a lot of people were talking about that. He's in a good bit of form in the last couple of games he's played, and why couldn't we have seen him in the big games, in the games where I think Ricky said it against in the last game against Norwich at home, Wolves at home, when obviously Matt scored, he was like, forget energy, let's just play players where we can keep the ball better. And I think today kind of fell into that. For me, Matt, there was screams for him to come on way earlier than he did. I think Pereira kept getting into positions and being wasteful. Yes, he had a decent shot in the first half, I'll give him that, and then he nearly got in the end of another cross, but other than that he was extremely wasteful. I'd give him a 3.
Fair. I was going
4 max, but
I was going to give him a 4, but I mean either.
All right, in the base of it of trying to not go overboard, we'll go over 4, but clearly not very good today.
Not at all,
and then we're talking about the top 2. Dan James, I thought he was non-existent. I'm not even just talking about, he's got to do. He's crap because he let Salah run through and score. Look, we're throwing the kitchen sink at it, and we got caught in a break. That can happen. That's not what I'm talking about. I just thought he was null and void. I thought he got brushed off the ball too easily. I thought for his main attribute, which is the pace, we didn't really get to see it, which isn't always his fault, but I didn't see him, Miles. I didn't see him.
He's slowly proving. I mean, this isn't like a major criticism to him that no one should think I'm really going at him, but he's not really proving. He's just kind of proving himself to be a bit of a pace merchant. He can run and run and run, but he can't even really beat a man sometimes.
It's not really his game. He can't bust a trick and get past the man, can he?
Whereas someone like Rashford can do that. Rashford is a pace merchant, but he can also beat you. Twist you up and go past you and thing. Dan James can't even really do that, and then with a small frame, he's getting shoved off the ball quite easy. So it's like, damn, the promise that was there is kind of diminishing a little bit, because actually it's looking like all you've got is a bit of pace and a half decent cross every now and again.
And in this team where we're not exactly getting in at them at teams time after time through channels, it makes him non-effective at the moment.
I
see why he should have played, because we needed that attribute if we were going to use it, but when we don't use it, I just feel like he's always just void. Like, we just don't really see him.
And we needed that attribute because Marcus Rashford wasn't there.
Exactly.
So you're kind of hoping that Dan James can not only provide the pace, but provide some guile, some trickery, and some good shooting as well. But obviously he's a young kid, and he was never meant to be a regular starter. That's the main thing. But that's going on to a whole other topic about transfers. In this game, like I said, not a great performance. Very quiet. I give him a 4 as well.
Yeah. And Martial, quiet for most of the first half. He gets a gilt-edged chance in the second half, and you're like, Martial, you almost, I wouldn't want to say bet your house he would have scored, but I would have predicted he would have at least hit the target, especially in that position, being as clinical as he is, blazed it over the bar. I thought he then came into the game after that, in the second half, trying to link up with Dan James, link up with Fred in those little channels, make little things happen, but overall didn't happen for him, man. Would I give him a 4? I'll give him a 5, but it could have been a 4.
Yeah, I mean, fair play to him in terms of his commitment. Someone in that striker's position, if the game isn't going for you, then your head can drop and whatnot. But fair play, he keeps going. People who think that maybe his face shows that his demeanour is poor, it's actually not.
Definitely don't question his effort today.
Definitely don't. Yeah, you definitely don't. But in terms of like that opportunity he had, that showed for me how desperate we were in terms of the whole game. That moment just showed me, wow, we are really completely desperate in this game. And he was rash with it. He was too normally Martial is kind of ice cool, but we were playing against a side that were just kind of we just couldn't create much against them completely. He gets a very average 5 for me, not a good performance.
The subs that came on, Mata came on, I thought he tried to look lively, tried to make a little bit happen, but very hard to give him more than a 5.
100%.
Would you agree with that?
100%.
Mason Greenwood, same thing.
Same thing.
Can't give him more than a 5, and then Delot came on, a few crosses into the box that were right on Van Dijk's head for easy clearances, flat 5s. Across there, and that leaves us with Solskjaer. What rating are you giving him?
I give him a 6. I give him a 6. I give him a 6 because it was going to be a 5, but I think it's a 6 because I felt that we shouldn't have gone with a 5-3-2. I think we should have just gone for the game. And for me, going with the 5-3-2, you know, people were saying, "Oh yeah, but you know, we went for that formation and drew against them earlier on in the season." But we drew against them. So that for me, that 5-3-2 doesn't tell me that we're going to go out and win the game. Why don't you try something different? Maybe that might work. You know, you don't have Rashford, blah blah blah. And I know you want to sit back and whatever, but you've got 5 guys like in defence. It's so tight in defence and whatnot, and yet we still come away with a 2-0 defeat. So why, you know, maybe you could have gone for it a bit more. So I think for that alone, he gets a 6.
Generous, Miles.
Oh yeah, it probably is.
I would give him a 5, potentially even a 4. I feel a lot. I say a 5. I don't question the heart. I don't question the desire. We definitely didn't go out on a limb just like getting overrun with no passion or fight like the City game in that first half. But it's the same thing. The style of play didn't seem to be there. The way that we approached the game in terms of it's fine being in that shape, but how do you play in that shape? I didn't really see that. So I'm not going to go in on Solskjaer and say it's a disgrace, it was this, because they were levels ahead of us. So we've got to keep it into context. But I didn't see anything that was great move from Solskjaer, doing this, doing that. Did we frustrate Liverpool for large parts? No, not large. I would say in patches we frustrated them, especially second half. I think we won the ball back quite quickly in areas, but we just couldn't make chances from it. So I'm saying we couldn't transfer that into potent chances. So for me, just a flat 5.
And actually, I don't really think we frustrated them, because if we're being serious, they could have been 4-5-0.
Exactly. And they backed their own ability to go. In fact, you know what, Man United having a little spell. Let them cross it. We'll just clear it. It's fine. It's one of them.
Imagine
Do you know what I mean?
Confidence. Yeah, you know.
So
goes to show.
Yeah, goes to show. So those are the player ratings, guys. I dare say, because 2-0. I know when you're watching it at home, you're seeing all different replays. You're seeing this player not track back, this player not do that. Obviously, we've only seen things once. So I know, and for a fact, in the comments, people are going to be, "Nah, this person should have got a 3. What do you mean?" And it's going to be a whole different take on it. But we've tried to just kind of give the best of what we thought. Obviously, being here today. So let us know what you guys think, man, and hopefully we bounce back against Burnley. And this Rashford thing is peak. Peak.
January.
Bruno, has there not been a notification, Bruno, yet? No?
My phone had been pinging.
Normally, everyone predicted that.
I called my guy.
We lose here today, then we release that Bruno's signed, so everyone gets back up. No.
Yeah, that could be a thing. I called my source. He's not getting back to me. You know them ones.
At the moment, if Bruno comes up, we'll be playing him up front. Need left winger. Peace. Big thank you to you guys for watching the latest of our videos, and if you want to check out more, make sure you do that just to the right of me. We are the biggest and best Manchester United channel in the world. Make sure you check us out on all of the socials as well: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and YouTube. The socials are along the bottom. Peace.